Welcome back. We're talking about the dangers of asbestos with Patrick Davey from WorkSafe BC. It's great to have you back on the show.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Yes, we all know a little bit about the dangers of asbestos, but I think a lot of people think that that time has passed, but it's still very much an issue out there.
No, and in fact, I'll tell you a little bit about it. Asbestos is really a naturally occurring fiber, and it's heat resistant, flame resistant, and it was used from 1950 to 1990. And it was a great product, except for it was used in over 3,000 different types of building material, except for some issues. When it's not disturbed, it may be okay. When it is disturbed, intentionally or unintentionally, it can become airborne. When enough of it is breathed in, workers can have permanent lung damage, or it can lead to death. In fact, in the last 10 years, 2007 to 2016, there's been 605 BC workers that have died from it. It remains the #1 killer of workers in BC.
Is that right? We have a video that we can throw to. I don't think we actually have to listen to it, but we can look at it. But what I understand is that the particles are so small and fine that they just sort of attach onto your lungs.
Fibrous mineral.
We can just quieten down the audio maybe downstairs if that's all right. But this is just sort of going to outline for us the fact that a lot of workers are, you know, they know it exists, but maybe they just don't think it's going to be a part of their work job.
And that's it. It's not like falling from a roof where there's immediate consequences. These things may take decades to really show up, and they have devastating...
In the lungs, do you mean?
Well,
okay.
the effects of it.
Right.
And with devastating effects.
Yes. And what is the recourse for these workers? I mean, a lot of fatalities, as you mentioned. What are you supposed to do about it?
Well, you know, when we're all about prevention, and that's why we've got this initiative. Actually, it's the second year of initiative where we're having prevention officers really target having plant inspection of residential demolition and renos. And we're looking at, last year we targeted another group, the homeowners, trying to get them aware. This year we're hitting where the rubber hits the road, which is the contractors. These are the people that are conducting the demolitions and the renovations. And we want to make sure that they're informed, as well as the consultants. They're properly equipped to remove asbestos-containing materials. They need to, there's different portions of the process, and they need to be able to do it right through the process.
So there is a right way to remove it. I'm guessing that it involves a lot of, you know, facial masks, everything that you need to be protective gear, I think is the word I'm trying to say.
Yeah. When we look at it, there's 3 main portions to it. And all of them really require qualified people. It's not Bill with a hacksaw or a crowbar. Really, with qualified people, the first thing is performing assessment and compiling an inventory. That means going into the house. Is there asbestos there? Where is it? What type of it is? The second phase of that is the safe removal of the asbestos-containing material by qualified people. These are the people that are going to have the mask.
The face mask.
The face mask.
The protective gear.
They're going to have protective gear, the right gear. They're going to have the enclosures. They're going to have everything to do it right. The third portion really is disposing of that hazardous material properly. Throwing it in the garbage can, throwing it outside, just exposes other people to potential serious consequences.
Okay. Anything else you want to talk about asbestos?
Well, this is the second year we've been doing this. We're seeing some alarming trends. We're into this year, so 2017, we're just 2/3 of the way in. We compare it to last year, we've done way more inspections on it. Unfortunately, we've had to put on way more stop work orders. Stop work orders when we have to shut down the entire work location because of the hazard. And we've issued way more penalties. It's an alarming trend. And part of this initiative is really to sound the alarm to the employers, to make them understand their legal responsibility for the health and safety of their workers.
Because like you said, these workers who are being exposed may not actually see the effects of the asbestos for decades after. And again, to drive that home, if you think asbestos is a problem of the past, so far this year, WorkSafe BC has conducted 234 inspections, which resulted in 69 stop work orders. So that's pretty significant, to be honest. Pretty
significant. And when I told you earlier that asbestos-related exposures are the leading cause of fatals in BC, think about this: asbestos exposure is the leading cause of fatals in construction, period, not just in BC. So it's something that's going to be with us. In Kamloops, we look at all the renovations, we look at all the demolitions going on. We need to do it right the first time.
Right. So houses between 1950 and 1990, those are the ones that asbestos were generally that's where you would
in
find.
many different types of products, whether it be ceiling tiles, floor tiles, insulation, you name it.
Yeah.
If you go on our WorksafeBC.com website, you're going to find a lot of videos. You're going to find a lot of help in identifying where it might be and the steps to take to get rid of it safely.
Absolutely, and as employers, they need to be responsible in making sure they're doing the job properly, protecting their workers so everybody gets home safe at night.
Absolutely.
All right, Patrick Davey, great to have you back on the show. Thanks for being here.
Thank you kindly.
If you would like to learn more about asbestos, how to work around it safely, the website is on the screen, WorksafeBC.com. Back after a quick break. Stay with us.